So we've just finished a Revit model of an affordable home, and what we're wanting to do is create a quick and easy physical model of this Revit design. And with this, we're going to take a look at how we can do that. So first off, it would probably be a good idea to take a look and see like how your design's kind of created. So one, you're going to be looking at the elevations and just seeing, how's this kind of made up. So one thing that we'll pay attention to, especially as we get into and this is going to involve kind of a second part video, which will be in AutoCAD. So when we're in AutoCAD, we're going to want to see like, all right, we got two walls here that we're going to be looking at on the east elevation. We've got this one that has our entry door, and then we got a main wall here that is going to be used and cut out. So, when we look at this from the right side or from the east elevation, you're going to see, oh, we've got, we're going to have a definite dividing line here for our wall to be able to put that in. The other thing is, too, is we'll have to watch for a few things like our windows that are kind of sticking out here. You can see the kind of the framing of the window is going to be sticking out a little bit. So we might go through and have to hide a few things to kind of make this work right. And that's what we're going to do in our east elevation. So number one, as we get ready for that, first thing we need to do is make sure our view scale is set. So right now this is 1/8 of an inch equals a foot, which is what we need it to be. If yours is set at 1/4 inch equals a foot, and actually I'm also going to change the view setting to hidden line so that way you can see that. One, you can tell the text gets smaller because of the view scale change, but also the siding will also go through and change as well. So if you don't have these consistent, you're going to notice that when you go to put this together on your model. Those lines are not going to line up if you have one side of your house, one elevation is all in 1/4 inch scale, and if you look at the other one and if it's at 1/8 of an inch scale, they're just not going to work. So again, just make sure it's consistent. 1/8 of an inch equals a foot works well with this. And for the rest of the model, we're going to go through and just hide some of the unnecessary elements. For example, I don't need the levels to show. We're not going to put the foundation in. We're probably going to hide the roof. And there's a couple other little Revit details like this little indicator arrow that usually shows up on windows. We'll want to hide that. And then also this elevation swing, so that you see on this door. So that's these dashed lines that show up in this kind of V pattern, and we want to hide all that. And in order to do so, I'm going to go ahead and go over to my visibility graphics and select edit to open that up. You can also short key it with hitting the V key twice, or VG will also work as well. So from here, I can go through and start hiding a few things. If I press the R key, it'll take me right down to the R categories, or anything named with an R, and I can uncheck roofs. So if I hit apply, it'll show me that right there. If I press the C key, I can go up here to ceilings. So I definitely want to hide those because I'm not going to see them in our model. And then let's see here, annotation categories, go to the L's, and we'll grab or uncheck levels, and we'll say okay. Couple things here. One, I'm going to leave the elevation swing just because in the next video I want to show you how to edit that out. This typically gets kind of forgotten about a lot because when you're in visibility graphics, you have to kind of go through and expand the little option next to doors, and everything that's tied to the door we can kind of hide. So if I uncheck elevation swing, if I move this over, if you hit apply, you'll see that disappears. So I'm going to leave it on just because I want to show that editing process. Very easy, very quick, and able to do that. The other thing too is you're going to see these walls, and what these are these south walls, and also on this side it'd be the north walls that are edited to match the contour of the roof. And so either they have been attached to the roof, or they've in some of these cases, I know this wall, I did an advanced editing procedure to make it actually draw it in where it was matching the contour and filling in the shape. So I don't really want to mess with all that because I don't want to have to redo it. And since I don't want to, I'm going to let AutoCAD do a little bit of the editing, and I can actually get rid of the lines and kind of make this work out well. Same thing here is I've got one exterior wall that is going through and probably connecting to meet a contour on the roof, and I don't want to get rid of that, or I don't want to mess with that really. So I'll take that out in AutoCAD. Okay, the other one here is the window. This one here might be a little bit easier to do here in Revit. So actually, if you select the window, you just gotta go over here and uncheck indicator visibility, and then select apply, and you'll see that disappear. So, and then that way you just have the window being shown. The last thing before we go to prep this is I want to hide the foundation. So if I do a little window selection and get every bit of that foundation brought in, I can go through and I can actually filter what I selected. So you're going to see I've got a bunch of things that I selected when I did that. Can't really see it, but it did pick up some floors, and it picked up a room separator, and looks like a plumbing fixture as well. So if I uncheck those things I don't want, I want to go ahead and make sure structural foundations, which is the footing around the bottom, and then the walls that are selected are all the foundation walls. So I'm going to go ahead and say apply and say OK. And then what that's going to do is that's going to just keep those selected. And if I just right click anywhere in the graphics area, hide in view elements, I can hide that stuff away. And so this looks pretty good for what I want to bring into AutoCAD. So when I'm ready for that, I can go up here to File, I can go to Export, and I can go to CAD Format and DWG, so which is the file format for AutoCAD. I'm going to go ahead and, when this looks good, I can go ahead and just say Next. And then it gives me a spot to save this. So when I hit save, I've already kind of played around with this file before, so it's going to give me a message that you will probably not see if you're saving this for the first time. But you can go ahead and say OK, and it'll save that to whatever location that you have it set to. Doesn't really pop up with anything or give you any sort of indication, but that file will be there in that location as a DWG file, and in the next video we'll open that up. But what you would do is you would continue this process of kind of getting the files ready along each one of your different elevations. And so with that, just go to your north elevation, again, prep it, southwest, and as well as go through and just, you know, kind of get it ready for the laser. And like I said, in AutoCAD, if we miss anything or need to make any basic edits, we can do that in the next file, and I'll show you what that looks like in the next video.